Let me put it like this so that you may understand this. Africa is not weak. Africa is not poor. Africa is not confused. Africa is not backward. Africa is fragmented, divided from itself. And as a result, there is no common agenda. We may hear different leaders making demands that Africa become a particular way. Africa comes back and claims its sovereignty. But that has not been accepted yet on a large enough scale to bring about the change necessary. Yes, we have our intellectuals, we have our military men, our generals, we have our scientists and inventors, innovators, we have our ancestral wisdom custodians, we have a land that is full of beauty and wealth of natural resources. All that means nothing for Africa if it is not consolidated, if it is not brought together, if it is not unified and pointed at solving the challenges that we have. Because you find one man struggling in Angola while another is struggling alone in Cote d'Ivoire, maybe another in Guinea-Bissau or in Tanzania or in Malawi, wherever. Same ideas, but they all feel disconnected. They all feel powerless. I believe in us connecting those dots. I believe in us connecting those dots and begin to find ways to work together, to have this energy run through every one of us. The borders don't matter. They fall on their own when the time is right. But what we can do in beginning to have conversations together, begin to plan together, begin to have certain ideas in common, what we build from there, it's something powerful. It's something that could stand for eternity beyond. And I think that's what time it is. It's about time. It's about time we stop, continually victimizing ourselves by remembering the traumas we went through and exacerbating them further. It is time to reimagine Africa. The way Africa is as a result of the thoughts and actions of people who came prior to us. Both their wins and losses are recorded in history, mostly in that history also runs within our veins. We are a people that need to correct certain things if we do not want generations after us to suffer the same fate as we did. And it is very important that we begin to be vocal and intentional about these things, because even us shall not be judged by the history. As in, you wail, you saw, but what did you do? You experienced the pain, you lived the life the way you lived it, wherever you lived it, but what of your participation, your commitment to the betterment of your immediate world? Did you fight? Did you cower? Did you stand for something, or you were blown by the wind and when landed where it willed you? Because everything that changes have to be faced. Because whatever effort we put in, we get out the equivalent. And that is anything in transforming our immediate environment. I think we need to pause the idea of heaven as much as we think of it, but also remember the heaven that we can create for ourselves here and now. And start coding that heaven onto our children by giving them better experiences than we've heard, by creating a legacy worthy of a free and a sovereign people. And I think that's where it starts. And that sovereignty, you don't have to earn it. You deserve it because you exist. You're going to need to rise to it, though. You need to rise up to that. You need to rise up to that because of how you deport yourself, heal yourself of certain traumas that have hindered you from thinking yourself worthy of certain things. And you're going to need to decode that information and recode different information on your genes, on your DNA, in your subconscious mind, thereby transforming yourself. If we would have a transformed people on this land, then we have literally healed it, because they would have dealt with the demons that they suffer in their subconscious minds. And by the demons, I mean the low vibration experiences that they encountered, and it keeps coming back, locked in memory loops and tied into particular timelines and repeats of the same things you have seen before, and it's like you can't come out of this prison. Well, it's about time. It's about time, but we're gonna need to be honest with ourselves. Honesty. Yeah, honesty. Why are you where you are? How did you get there? If you want your leaves and branches to be as healthy as they can be, focus on your roots and go as deep as you can. The deeper you go, the higher you rise. The more you solve within your psyche, the more you reframe certain information, the more you disabuse yourself of your self-limiting beliefs, is the more you begin to live freely, is the more you begin to live carefree. Mind you, it's not that you're not focused, but it's because you understand yourself, your capability, and your heart is free. From every pain, every hurt, every misfortune that you have encountered, you personally, or that which runs within your family, and you can go as back as you can. Purge yourself of that. Detox yourself of certain ideas that you have welcomed into the corridors of your thinking by religion and education and media and various propaganda. But come and look within you and find yourself again. Remember that your forefathers were warriors. They fought so that you can be. And they projected you into the future as their representation. Well, what kind of honor are you bestowing upon them by what you do and how you do it? Are you a recontinuation of who they were, or you've been hijacked along the way? These are the questions we ought to ask ourselves. And the deeper you go, you'll be pissed. But after you've been pissed, after you've been angry, after you felt the rage of realization of how this world has been evil towards you, then you realize that it will only take you to rise and correct certain things. It will take you to rise and begin to correct certain things, to rewrite certain narratives, rebrand yourself, as it were, not yourself as a person, but more also as a people. How are you known? For what are you known? And what of the future? What are you building for the future that's coming? Are you aware of the opportunities that are into the future that you can start rising up from now on? Are you aware of the challenges that you might encounter in the future, and are you ready to counteract that? Something beyond just hopefully saying, I hope, but strategic anticipation of certain changes in our economic world, in our spiritual space, in our military space, in our technological space, and even cosmologically speaking. Because all these things happens and they affect us. But what I do not support is that we just go down as just victims. Oh no. Something ought to be done. And I usually tell this I usually talk about this with the people that I work with, that you receive something wrong and you say, I wish someone would do something about it. You receive something wrong and you say that I wish somebody would do something about it. But the question is that, are you not somebody? Why do you want to shift responsibility to the next person? Are you not somebody? In your own little way, therefore, or big, in your own way, what's your contribution? What information are you feeding your children? What contribution are you making to the ideas that are flying in front of you? Are you a spectator or you want to play the game? That is the question. That is the question. With that being said, this is Jean de Dieu from Prosperity Movement. Today, that's where I'm speaking from. And there's a lot of programs that we have in place that can begin to be able to solve these kind of problems that I just mentioned. Because there is a need for a unified voice that does not sound only to be recognized by the world, but sound in personal affirmation as who we are and what we are about. And that voice needs a connection. There need to be a thread that runs through every one of us to say, this is who we are and this we stand for. This we shun and loathe, and this we uphold and uplift. And when we do that, we'll be making a progress, not alone, but as a collective. As you know, here in Africa, we say, if you want to go fast, walk alone. But if you want to go further, walk with others. And our philosophy is Ubuntu also reminds us that I am because you are. Harambe says, pull together. Umoja says, we are one. And Uhuru also, that's what we're looking for, because we should be free. We should be sovereign. Breaking the chain gonna need some harmony, that I can tell you. And that is not done physically, but is done on a spiritual plane. It's done on intellectual space. It's done on a psychological space. And that is what I'm talking about, unifying not only our voices, but our hearts, our minds, our soul, our spirit. I think that would be quite a contribution, don't you think? So wherever you are, you're in Togo, you're in Sudan, you're in Angola, you're in Congo, you're in Tanzania, you're in Madagascar, you're in Lesotho, Namibia, you're in Zim, you are in wherever you may be in Africa, know that there is an agenda against you and it does not care about your border lines. You may look at another Africa as another African as though he's different from you. But those who are coming after you, when they look at you, they see no border. They see one people divided, and that makes it easier for them to attack. Either way, they win against you. That's the only thing that's missing, people. That is the only thing that is missing, according to me. That is the only thing that is missing. The only thing. Unity. Unite Africans and leave everything alone. It will happen on its own. Unite people. Yeah, but on a cellular level, on a cellular level, talking about souls, cells, I mean to talk about souls. On a spiritual level, you know, on a spiritual level, intellectual, yes, spiritual, yes, psychological, yes, on a financial level, sure. But we need to connect somewhere. Find these dots and connect these dots. Create a web, a financial web that feeds each and every one of us, that is participated in by each and every one of us. We are an economy just by ourselves. Should we trade amongst ourselves? The outside world, we do need them, but we could perhaps negotiate better deals. That's my take. And I'm out and about for now. Until next time. I hope this has been insightful, provoking, and exciting. That was my intention. Bless you. Please like and share, and let's keep having these conversations. Blessings to you and your families.